Alright, so the stuff that still needs to be done, as you can see, my heater box here is cleaned off. Bunch of this rat's nest here, but you can see it's still pretty fucking gross. I need a shop vac for that. There's down here along the sides, which I'm probably going to need to get some other tools for to get the rest of that shit that's down there. I got most of this side done, but there's a little bit there. The biggest problem, if you come around here, is that down in the fan housing. I cannot get to that by hand. And I don't know if a shop vac would pick all that up. I'm going to hope it does. What I'm going to do when I get a shop vac, which hopefully next week on payday, we'll see how much money I've got. But when I get a shop vac, I'm going to essentially come in, soak that all down with bleach and water again, so to keep the dust down and to kill some of the shit that's there. And then the shop vac that I'm going to buy is a wet dry vacuum, so I can pick that shit up and get it out of there. And then once that's done and I've got this relatively cleaned out here, I can start pulling all of this apart. And it's going to take a while, you know, obviously, but I want to get the radiator and fan housing out of there pretty early on, just so I have access to other stuff. And then I need to have a fucking breaker bar and a socket on the crankshaft, see if it still turns. And I'm looking at that hole there right now. I don't know if that's supposed to be there or not. Let's have a look at the other side. I wonder if there's just a hole in the fucking side of the intake that's not supposed to be. Oh, this looks completely different on this side. Yeah, I have no idea if that's supposed to be there or not. I guess we'll find out when I'm tearing this fucker apart later. Replace it if I have to, you know. But this is all going to come out, and I'll save what I can of it, and obviously toss the rest. Same with the air hosing on the other side, because I mean that hosing's fucked. It's totally done. Basically gonna, once this is cleaned out, start taking it apart piece by piece and replacing what I need to as I go. I don't think that carburetor is savable. I think it's toast. The oil bath air cleaner that goes in here is actually in the trunk of the car, which I don't have my screwdriver with me, so I can't get into it right now. Only fucking body damage pisses me off. That and somebody shot out the back window because they're a bunch of fucking assholes. But yeah, I have to have a screwdriver in there to... Oh, it's not latched. Okay, it's not latched. Cool. There's the oil bath air cleaner and some door panels and stuff. Most of this is just going to get thrown away, though. The oil bath air cleaner I'm not going to throw away because it's savable. Shit, I didn't know it wasn't latched. That's cool. The last time I was up here, I thought, and we had that open, I thought we latched it. That's cool. I didn't know that was still open. Nice. After yesterday when I was up here, and you can see the interior, I just gotta pull this out. It's gotta go. But I was up here, and I hit the door hinges and latches. No squeaking. And then when we close it, virtually no pressure required to close the doors. Nice and fucking smooth. I'm going to replace these bullet tail lights soon. I got to get new glass for the brake lights and bulbs, obviously. The rust and shit can be cleaned up. I think I can make that work. I actually didn't check this one. Okay, that's got to be WD-40 next time I do it. The garbage is the shit that I pulled out of the engine bay yesterday. I didn't want to take it down in my Charger. But yeah, interior, like I said, that's all coming out. I'm going to unbolt it and just rip it out. I got to figure out why the passenger side door is not opening. Because when we go around to that side, we can hear that the mechanism is working. But it does not move. I don't know if that's like if the lock is a separate thing with these, like if these doors are locked on this car, the handle will still depress and then it just won't open, or what the deal is there. I have no idea. So figure out what that is. Do some cleanup on the front fascia here, the bumper and all that. You can see I've got some dents on that one. That headlight housing is actually pretty much perfect still. But this one, get a dent there and there that I got to see about fixing. There's this crack right here in the bumper that I think I can fix. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into it. Most of the tarnishing and rust, though, I can take care of. Still pretty fucking shiny for a damn near 70-year-old car that's been sitting... Actually, 53 to 03 is 50 years. So 73-year-old car that's been sitting out here for like 25 fucking years. That one. That's we don't talk about that one. Anyway, yeah. And no squealing. A little bit on that side. A little bit of squeaking, but this like squealed. And I can close it with one hand now, which I could not do before. You had to like get both hands on it and like slam it as hard as you could, and you had to pull to get it to shut. So that's nice. That's the WD-40 from yesterday, and you can see from when it finally started to break those hinges loose, some rust and bullshit that came off of those. They went and that's where that landed. These are not real vent holes. They're just there for aesthetic purposes. I can pretty easily get replacements or clean those up. Make them nice and shiny again. And of course, you can see that some of the original paint is still on this car somehow. I think that's really cool. I think it's cool that we have the original paint, especially down near the lower end, because that paint is still protecting it from rotting where it's close to the ground. So there's like no rot on this car at all, and that makes me very happy. I mean, it's also helpful that it's fucking steel, but yeah, that original paint still being there, especially near the lower ends, helps prevent rot. We do have that little damage there that I got to take care of, but that'll be relatively easy. I can just get some sheet metal, weld that shit together. The door, this is a whole fucking thing on its in and of itself. I mean, opens without squeaking and closes gently, but you can see it doesn't seal because that fucked my entire life. I just pulled the old weather stripping that was here off because it was not doing anything other than being in the way of the door closing. And like, oh, but it's going to let water in. There's nothing here. The original dash is all there, and like, there's a surprising lack of cracking going on it. I know it's kind of hard to see from there, but like, there's a surprising lack of cracks in the original dash. It's got the original radio. All the gauges are still there. Like, there's a lot that doesn't need to be done on this car that you would think would need to be done on this car from looking at, like, the seats or lack thereof. Like, this fucker, it had a metal dash, so it's just all rusty. And it's a whole different fucking beast trying to get this fucker to ever even be functional again. I don't remember that being a thing. I don't remember that being a thing last time I was looking at this car. I wonder if I just never noticed it or if that is new. Because I don't think I've ever noticed that being bent like that before. Huh. I will have to ask my dad later. Because he lives up here and I don't. And The straight 8's cool, though. I really want to work on that. I'd love to tear this fucker apart and put it back together. It's cool as hell. I don't know if this one would crank or not, or if it would turn over. It might be seized. I have no idea. This one's not my car. This one is. You can see, like, it's mostly still shiny. I need to find the emblem here. BOP.com sells it, but they want like $160 fucking dollars, and that's an insane amount of money for a remanufactured fucking emblem. This is still pretty shiny, a little bit of tarnishing, but nothing that can't be fixed. Yeah. Most of the body, hell, I mean, this is mostly still smooth. Just surface level imperfections. Be really easy to just sand down and then clean up and have it ready to fucking go. For the most part, it is like, as far as the body work goes, I could get that done quicker than everything else, much easier, aside from that door and the missing piece of chrome on this side, which I think there are places that I can take this one to, this piece of chrome from this side, and tell them I need it mirrored, essentially, and they would do that for me. It would cost me a lot of money, but I do believe that that is an option. And if it is, I intend on taking that option in the near future. And by near future, I mean when I can afford to. I need to get it off the ground somehow and get new tires and or wheels. I don't know if these are all original wheels on here. I don't think they are. Nah, they're different. They're all different. Same lug pattern though. So new tires and wheels, but new tires first, because that would make it so I can move it around more easily. I could even pull it down to my apartment to work on it. After, of course, I clean it out and disinfect the rat's nests that are everywhere. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. I need to get a shop vac so I can finish cleaning out the rat's nests. I need to do the interior. I need to just rip that all out of there. The frames for the seats are actually fine, and I can have those reupholstered if I can get them cleaned off. The frames themselves are good, and it would be cool to have the original frames. Worst case scenario, I just throw them away. I just get rid of them entirely. And because, like, they're bad. Like, the frames are fine, but these are real rough fucking seats. It'd be very hard to successfully get them out and get them ready to be reupholstered. And that would also cost me a shit ton of money. So it might be easier to just find different newer seats. It's not like I'm building this to be a show car or anything. Like, I don't need it to be 100% pure original, where, like, I'm taking it and showing it off to people and they're like, oh my god, I don't give a fuck about that. It's my car. I'm building it to be the way I want it to be. Which, yeah, that's the ultimate goal, right? Is just, I want to build it to where I can drive it and go, hey, check out my cool ass car. This is funny though. General Electric. This one is not a General Electric, or maybe it is, but it doesn't have the label there, or the logo. So, maybe it's the original headlights. I mean, they're the same design. Maybe they just did, one of them had the logo and the other one didn't. I don't fucking know. But yeah, for the most part, it's actually not too bad. It's just the interior, and then the back window is kind of a huge problem. I mean, there's the crack right here you can see in the windshield, but, like, that is not the end of the world. I need to reattach the mirror. That driver's side mirror is actually sitting right there on the dash, because I came over here this was in like 2021, and I came over here and I was doing this with it, like adjusting it because it still moved, and then the screw that You can kind of see it's still in there. It broke off. So I need to redo that. But yeah, I mean, find out some more information on the motor as I take it apart and see like what needs to be replaced and what I have to do with it to get it running again. Because frankly, as far as I am aware, aside from the rat's nest holding everything kind of locked in place on the inside, as far as I'm aware, if I had the key and I put it to the on position and I hit the gas pedal, it would go. It would at least try to crank. I have no idea. And I don't have the key for it either. I think with a model like this, I could do a screwdriver. But because yeah, that's actually a cool thing about these, by the way. They don't key start and they don't have like a floor starter like some other older vehicles do. This one, you put the key into your ignition over there and you put it to the on position and then you press the gas pedal, which I don't know if you can see that all that well. Yeah, right there, the gas pedal. You press that down and there's a vacuum tube that connects to the carburetor that actually has a starter switch inside of it. So you press the gas down to start it while it's in park, which is kind of cool. It's the only car that I am aware of that ever did that. I'm sure others did. I'm not saying that it's like unique, but it's the only car that I know personally that does that. I've never seen that before on a car, and I think that's really, really cool. I don't know how this one did it. Might have been a similar thing. Might have been a floor starter like most of the other cars of this era that I'm aware of. But if there is a spot for a floor starter, I can't see it over there. That's a bone. That's a bone. Okay. I guess we're going to end that here. But yeah, I don't see a floor starter spot. And even if there is one, look at the fucking bullshit. Rotted away everything. So yeah, that one, who gives a shit? But this one, yeah, I think its starting mechanism is cool. And that's something I'm going to have to learn more about and fuck with. So, yeah, we'll see. Don't know if you could hear that. That was a donkey freaking out over there. Yeah, anywho, that's where we're at with it. Here's hoping progress continues to be made at a steady pace.